Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chilliwack, BC. We're supposed to get over 30 today. Ooh, anyway, it could be worse other places. I don't know. My guest today was originally from South Africa and moved to Canada when he was really, really young. Time to get to know a little bit more of him. Ladies and gentlemen, DustyMarcus. DustyMarcus, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here. Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm pleased that you accept the invite. Now you're in Ontario, correct?
I am. Yep, London, Ontario.
Okay, so I'm just was reading your bio, which is really interesting because you talked about starting off writing short stories when you were quite young.
Yes, yeah, I did. When you're in public school and you're given little assignments to write how your day was or whatever, I was writing novels of stuff, and writing just different poetry and things. I got into poetry first, and that progressed to, this could sound good if these lyrics would be good in a song. And that's how it started.
Very good, yeah. Now, you also mentioned that, was it your grandfather who introduced you to the guitar?
Yes. He played guitar by ear. He never, studied music or anything like that. So he taught me the basic chords, and a little song that he taught me, and I'm trying to remember it now. It's been a while, and that's what got me on my way. After that, I couldn't put it down anymore. I was hooked. Yeah,
for sure. Now, okay, so from there, you progressed into getting into a band. Is that right?
Yes. We started a little band thing when I was in about grade 9, and we used to sort of cut class and go and play instruments. And but after that, at around 2008, 2009, I really got into it, and we started a band up in St. Thomas, Ontario, and called the Survivors. And we played for probably a few years, 3 years maybe. And then we formed a different Survivors band with a Z on it instead of an S. And we played for a while, but our lead guitarist, he wasn't well. So and then went on to form another band, and which was interesting because with the Survivors, there was the guy that I was cutting class with to go and play our instruments. I ran into him at one of our shows, and I said, why don't you play with us? So he did, and he ended up in the band, right? So that's happened quite a few times. I've run into friends from the past, especially from high school, and
right.
They got into music. So
was that the band Decay and Retribution?
Yes.
Okay.
Decay and the Retribution.
So how long did you perform with how long was the band together?
About 10 years.
Oh, that's pretty good.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, there was a split in the band at some point, and we sort of became more bluesy, okay. And like we did like a folk blues kind of thing, and I would do the folk stuff, and then we'd switch over to my friend for doing the blues stuff, and it was good. His dad was a great harmonica player, and bless his soul.
Were you playing original music?
Most of it, yes. We played some covers here and there, but most of it was original. I didn't like to do covers very much in those days. I just like to stick to what we'd written.
Well, it must have been really good for the band to stay together that long, I would think.
Yeah, you really get to know people quite well, and it was like a family, right? So, yes. Yeah, exactly.
Now, were you the only one writing the songs, or were there others?
No, I was writing the folk stuff. Okay. I'd written, but the blues stuff was written by somebody else.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, you also, let's see now, where was I going to ask you? You also, at some point, this will be later on, I guess, that one of your sons joined you.
Yes.
right?
Yeah, he was actually, he joined us with Decay and the Retribution.
So that's your
And
son, Josh, correct?
yes, Josh, and he's still playing. So we've sort of, yeah, we've been playing together for so long now, I can't even picture not playing with him, you know.
And he plays the keyboard, correct?
Yes, he does, yeah.
So
And
now you also have another son who plays the drums.
I do. I've lost touch with him over the last few years, but I still send him a message here and there. Hope that he sees it.
Yeah, I hear,
Yeah.
listen, I hear you, okay?
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the songs or some of the albums you put out.
Though the first one we put out is just stuff that I'd done in the past, and I wanted it all to sort of be put into one space, so that way I could get those ones and do that. The next one was called A Long Time Ago, and that is sort of my shining star right now, and a lot of personal experience
Right.
goes into my writing. So what's happening around me and how I'm more about how I'm feeling about something. Yeah. So I should mention the person who wrote the blues songs. His name is Sean McCready. So I just wanted to get that up.
Well, mention all of the
Great
band
song.
members. That I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was Sean and his dad, and Sean's brother was there occasionally. Josh was there, and there were like four of us that were sort of fixtures, and then other people sort of floated through.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that I like, what you said in your bio, is that a lot of your friends have been there from the time you were like teens or some even earlier, right?
Yes, absolutely. I met Kyle, my friend Kyle, in I think grade 7, and we ended up going to the same high school, and then he dropped off the face of the earth, and I had no idea. But what had happened is he'd had a personal tragedy in his life, and they'd moved, and I ran into him actually, but completely by accident. I was stopping to get a coffee, and I stopped, I was in the parking lot, and I saw him. He came right up to me and he said, well, we should get together and play. He's like, yeah, let's do that. And that's, that's how it was. And that's how we came up with DK and the Retribution. Dustin for me and Kyle. So DK and the Retribution.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
No, also you played the bass guitar.
Yes, I love playing bass. I played it when we did the blues set before with DK and the Retribution, and I love playing it today. In the studio, I'll play and put together stuff when I'm writing a song. And now playing bass and singing, I'm working on that.
But what is it about the bass that you like?
I honestly don't know. I've always loved it. It's just because bass can be a very powerful thing, or it can be something sort of in the background. And I love how the bass and the drums work together, right? You can really make a room alive with just a bass guitar and drums. You can have people really getting into that,
Right.
So yeah, it's sort of a very versatile instrument.
Right. Now, were you able to perform live during COVID, during the worst of it?
No. We were looking at going on the Rise Up tour, I think that year, and we didn't end up doing it that year. Things were getting canceled all over the place, and we did last year's Rise Up, and we still ran into problems, right? There were people that couldn't come out because they weren't vaccinated, and the tour bus wasn't allowed. They wouldn't allow it into Canada because of papers and all that stuff.
Right.
So, but this year was very good.
I keep mentioning everybody that I speak to that is with Big World, I'm trying to get on that bus. I want to be part of a Rise Up tour.
It's fantastic. I love it. I've met so many people that today are become really close friends.
Right.
And I shared a stage with Sarah Smith. I mean, my goodness, I never would have thought that that would have happened.
Nice.
If you had told me that 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it.
Right.
So it's fantastic. Just some of the people, Tim Steinrock, there's so many.
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome. I think
amazing.
that's really wonderful. I figured this is my idea. Okay, because I don't perform, but I do have a great last name, as you all know, as everybody knows, and it's real. I could be a groupie, or I could be a roadie. What more do you, or a fan? What more do you need?
That's true.
I mean, there should be that. I'd be that all in one. Like that saves everybody.
It does. That's true. It saves us all a lot of work, doesn't it?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Yeah, he's probably watching. So.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he would.
And anyway, let's get back to you for. So, do you have any performances with your band coming up?
Yes. On August 17th, I believe, we're playing at the Dorchester Golf Club. They're doing a fundraiser for MS.
Okay.
So we're playing there. And then I believe it's the same day or a couple days later, we're playing a car show again in Dorchester. So
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to get out there and do what you do, right? Yes.
It's nice to have the freedom to do that now, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I talk to musicians quite a lot, and it's like, it's what's the word I want to say? It reaches the world. Music reaches the world, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. My drummer, John, what he does, he sets up stages and stuff, at all the big events, the big groups that come through. And so for a couple of years, there was nobody coming through.
Right.
So that really affects people that do that, right? There's no work. So it's all coming back together. And now he's really busy. I get a hard time even getting him out. So
yeah, very good. Yeah. So when you're not busy with your music, with your band, what do you do? What are your hobbies, or how do you what's downtime?
My hobby is my music, but I spend time with my kids, my grandkids, and I try and keep a very close relationship with my family, because without family, you don't really have anything. So, and they've been so supportive of what I do. So
very nice. Yeah. How old are your grandchildren?
Well, my fiance and I, we each have grandchildren, right? So together there's a whole bunch of us.
Okay.
And my daughter has 2 children, a son and a daughter, and my son in Winnipeg also has 2. So I have 4 grandchildren. So
they're young, little ones?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lincoln is getting old enough now where he's starting to push the boundaries a little, so.
Do you see any signs of any of them being musical?
Not yet, really. They're too young yet, I think. I did bring my one grandson down to the studio here told him to sit on the drums, and play the drums. So he liked that. So, yeah. I
think all kids like that, be able to play the drums, right?
Oh my goodness. If, for me, I would love it. There was a time when I was young and I had gone on stage. It was mid-afternoon, and they let me sit on the drums, and it's something that stayed with me, and that I must have been 6 years old, but I never forgot that.
Wow. Yeah, the last place I lived, I was in a house with an attic, and my daughter had her drums up there, and I used to love it when she'd come over and play the drums. It was just so magic and fantastic.
Yes.
But when you put that all together, right, with the singers and the guitars and the keyboard, you need the whole mix, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? My brother is a drummer, and when he was young, he would get his pots out,
Yeah.
and I was like in this band mode. Even then, I was like 12 years old, but I was putting people together. Okay, you're gonna sing, you play the drums, and just So yeah, there was definitely a future in it for me. I could see it.
So were your parents musical?
My mom played guitar.
Yeah, you
at
told
one
me that.
time.
Sorry.
But yeah, I have a lot of family that is musical. My two cousins have been around quite a bit and have become fairly popular, and my brother as well, and his wife are in a band as well. So
Very good. Yeah, very
yeah.
good. So if now, do people reach you on Facebook, or what's the best way for people to reach you?
Go to my webpage, DustyMarcus.com,
Okay.
and you can click on the link and send me an email, and I'll get it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to end there. Just stay on camera. I'm going to just say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for watching the show, everyone. I hope you enjoyed meeting DustyMarcus and supporting him in his music. And because, like, you know, music is, the world needs it. It just the way it is, period. And be nice, everybody. Take care and peace out.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.